Hmm. So sitting before you, I do get at times some sleepy mood, but I don't sleep. Yes. Whenever we sit in the front seat of the car, the driver says, Swamiji, don't sleep. If you sleep, I too will get sleep. And actually, because of the class, I have to prepare so much. Seeing the Sanskrit, I have to translate, I have to see the sum of the words in the dictionary, all these things, it is taking much time. So, somehow I am not getting sleep in the noon time. Previously, I used to sleep from 11 to 2. Now it is gone. Of course, good that how the time is passing away, we are not able to. So some of the things of the morning, the birthless thing, how can it take birth? In the view of disputants, the birthless thing is taking birth. So, birthlessness is its nature. How can it take birth? In any way, however, it cannot take birth. So, he says, transmigratory existence be beginningless. Transmigratory existence, the world. That if you say it is beginningless, its termination will not be reached. A thing which is not having beginning, a thing which is not having a birth, how can it end? How can it get destroyed? How can it take death? How can it go to death? So, and if you say termination will be there for the birthlessness thing, then there will be no liberation. Because you are telling it is birthless, all right, and again you are telling it is destroyed, then eternal thing, if you say it is get destroyed, then no liberation. And that which is not in the beginning, which is not in the end, it will not be in the middle also. But by ignorant, it is seen as if it is real. Then he says, we are utilizing all the waking objects. In waking state, we are having so many things that we are using. The utility is seen in waking state. Then he says, it is not there in the dream. And you are the seer, you are not changing. So, the seer of the pot is real, the pot is unreal. So, it may be waking state or it may be dream state. To tell and to understand in the intellectual level, it is very easy. But to put into practice, it takes long time. Therefore, for the reasons of their having beginning and an end, they are definitely remembered to be unreal, he says. Then he said, the objects that are seen in the dream, they are seen in the mind or nadi or inside the body. The dreams are seen inside the nadi. So, and you are telling it is unreal because we are seeing in the same way the Atman which is inside the body, that has been told it is outside also, all pervading, I am Atma Brahma. Then it is homogeneous substance, the Atman, Eka Rasa. Because of that homogeneousness, there will be no world in it. See, if you take the rock salt, it is just like prajnana ghana. Inside it nothing will be there. Only rock and rock, it is salty and salty, because it is homogeneous. In the same way, though you say the Atman is inside, we do agree, Pratyeka Atma, that same Atman is all-pervading. As in a small place you have seen the dream and telling the dream is unreal, so we say in the Atman nothing else will be there. If you see, it is ignorance or superimposed or unreal. That is, by logic, he is proving. Not only this, he says, no Virat, no Hiranyagarbha, no Brahmaloka, nothing is there in the Atman. Even if you accept a small thing, duality will come, non-duality will go away. And he says, but people, they think going to heaven, going to Brahmaloka, they will be enjoying. They say, for happiness we are going to heaven. For happiness we are going to Brahmaloka. They do say. What about that? The opponent is asking. You see, previously also we have discussed about the Brahmaloka. The monk or a sannyasi who has given up the worldliness and all the worldly desires, putreshna, lokeshna, vitteshna, if he is not doing properly the practice of Brahmajnana, or thinking of the Atman, not Brahman, and he will not realize here, Brahman, he has not experienced his Atman, so what will happen? As a punishment, he will be sent to Brahmaloka. And there he is having all the facilities. Say more than Atlantis. So, one Brahma is there, and you are also another Brahma. Whatever he takes, that you will be taking. Whatever he is enjoying, that you will be enjoying. But you cannot open your mouth. Why? He is there from the beginning. He is the creator and he is the ruler. You went there because of the punishment. But you are having the same seat like him, same bed to sleep, same thing to everything is same. But you cannot open your mouth. He is the ruler, he is the administrator. And like this, how long you have to prolong? As long as he lives. So, do you say it is happiness? That is, see, and by chance, if you are not having any desire, you are always thinking of Atman there also, then there is the possibility of your realization. But if there is a small desire arises there, in the next kalpa I will be again coming down to the, that means, what is the inference? What is the inference? When you go to Brahmaloka, the rest of the life of the Brahman, you have to think of Atman and Atman alone for so many continuous years. What guarantee is there? 30 years or 40 years you have given the age here to think of Brahman. You have not done here. And years together, we can infer that you will be thinking Brahman only there. Because you have not thought of Brahman completely, you have been sent as a punishment there. And there what guarantee is there? And 4 lakhs, 43 lakhs 20,000 for Mahayuga, that is 4. And that is like that if 100 Mahayugas goes, it is 12 hours to Brahman. And like that into 2, 1 night and 1 day. Like that 365, 1 year. Like that 50 years you say. So what guarantee is there? So the moment you get some desire, Kshine punya matya lokam vishanti. So again and again I say, never expect I will go to Brahmaloka and enjoy. What you want to do, you do here and experience, have the experience of that Brahman here itself. That's why he says, na yuktam darshanam gatva. Here, of course, he is telling about the dream. In the dream, even if you go to Brahmaloka, you cannot come back immediately. So, that is also unreal as the dream. That we want to say. Then he told, Mitradyahi saha samantya sambuddho na prapadye grihitam chapi yatkinchit pratibuddho na pashyati. Page number 492. What? Oh. In dream, what has been discussed with friends and others and settled is not restored when you are awake or when you wake up. Whatsoever is acquired in dream too is not seen when awake. Then, having discussed with friends and the rest, one does not resort to that discussion itself when awake. Whatever is acquired is as gold in the dream. One does not obtain after waking. Hence also, one does not go to different plane in dream. For this, sub-commentary was not done. In dream, disagreement or contradiction is there, so it is not proof. Contradiction is there as soon as you get up. You don't see anything which you have seen in the dream. And the gold you have seen, you cannot bring it. This is contradiction or disagreement. That is why we say the dream is unreal. So, in waking state, thinking I will help for others' realization, thinking of Brahman, I will wake others from ignorance. I will tell them about Brahman and I will awake them from the ignorance. All these things is not correct, because liberation is not attained, it is not a sadhya. He told in the morning, no moksha, no liberation, you are already liberated. So it is not something to gain, to obtain. It is praptasya prapti. What you are already there, that you have to experience. Because you have forgotten, he says. He gives so many illustrations. A garland is there, and you have forgotten and you are searching. Somebody will tell, garland is there. And many times we keep something in the hand, a key or something, going on searching here and there. It is there only. So, one day what happened in the room, I have just taken out the shirt and I have just dusted it. Then I forgot that key is there in the pocket. And while dusting the shirt, somehow it jumped and went and stood in another cloth, which is... And afterwards I'm searching, I don't get the key. Key is there, but not finding. So much searching. Finally, somehow, I think somebody came or dusted and see, and it is just from the pocket it went and stood in the another cloth. In the same way, though we are bliss absolute, we forgot. Somehow or other. You may say it is ignorance, or you may say forgetfulness, or you may say the attachment to the body or ego, whatever you may call. Somehow that absolute bliss is not there now. So, it is there, you are already having that, only you have to uncover. So, it says, liberation is not a thing to attain. Na nirodha, na chotpati, na moksha, na sadhaka. All the things he has refuted. That again he is telling here, na yuktam darshanam gatva. So, liberation, you are already nitya mukta. The Atman, when Krishna says, Ajo Nitya Shashvatayam Purano. That is your nature. And that is already liberated. And what to talk of liberation? Those who are in ignorance are to say those who think that they are not possessing that absolute happiness. For them something they have to do. What they have to do? They have to uncover the ignorance. It is already there. So, how to uncover that ignorance? How to remove that ignorance? That has been told in the Shastras. We already heard there was a queen by name Madalas. What she used to say to the children? Suddhosi buddhosi niranjanosi samsara maya parivarjitosi. See. So that is our nature. Then from the beginning she used to tell the same thing to the children. So as soon as they grown up, hearing, 3 have left. They took sannyasa. And one fellow is there. Now she again started Suddhosi, Buddhosi, Niranjanosi. Then king comes, see, everybody you are sending away. Who will look after the kingdom after me? Only always telling Suddhosi, Buddhosi. All right. All right, I will do something, don't worry. He will be there to look after your kingdom. So what she did, she wrote something and just put in this thing, and she has tied to him and told, locket. So whenever you are in trouble, though you are a king, though you are ruling the kingdom, whenever you are in trouble, when we both are not there, father and mother, you just open it and see. So only dispassion and discrimination written there. This world is unreal, Suddhosi, Buddhosi, Niranjanosi. The same lesson. So when he saw that, he also so what we have to do? We are already having that bliss that we have to enjoy, that we have to experience. Because what is the abstraction? The mind. The mind is, see, diversified because of the attachment to the body or ego or some of the things, whatever you may call. So, that diversity of the mind are seeing different things that we have to control, concentrate the mind. Vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhavana vidyate. That is, the mind which is oscillating, which is having so many impressions, will not get concentration, think of the Atma. So he says, nothing to attain. You are already that. Nitya Mukta. So, liberation, for that, I am hearing the Shastras, I will contemplate on that and I will realize all these things you are telling. Says that is also illusion. He says, Mitra Jay, how? Because as they dream. The realized things then he says, Gritanchi atkinchit Hiranyadi na prapnoti. That is, what you have seen in the dream, that you cannot bring into the waking state. What you are possessing now, that you cannot take with you in death. Now you are having so many things. So, but if you want to take all those things, nothing will come. Is our 10th point of view is to tell, a man is having 3 friends. So, these 3 friends are there and he was on the deathbed. So, one fellow says, I will take you to the hospital where the best treatment is there. All right. And the other fellow says, I will serve you till you leave the body. I will be with you. That means, and the third fellow says, I will be with you always. Even if you die, I will be with you. The first fellow, first friend, who is the first friend? He is the money, wealth. And second, those who are serving him, wife or children or somebody, they till the death. And the third one is his own actions and upasana, karma. That alone goes with you. No property, no children, no wife, no body, nothing goes. So, previously also I told, at best we can classify 3 things will be going with us. You remember what I told? 3 things. Upasana, all right then. See, 3 things will be with us. The actual movements or the time, the span of time which we have spent remembering this self. That means concentratedly how many moments you have thought of your own self or Atman. That time will be coming with you. And without having any selfish motive, if you serve others, the fruits of purifying your mind will come with you. And here, in the relative world, without having any attachment, whatever you give to others, that fruit will come with you. Only 3 things. What you have given up, what you have thought over deeply, and what you have served without any selfish motive. At best, these 3 things will be with you even after death. The fruits of the unselfish actions, the fruits that you gave to others as dana, and the moments which you have thought of the self. Only those ones. Because you may say, oh, I am meditating since 20 years. Nothing. Arey, how many moments your mind is concentrated on yourself, on your deity? That is counted. Years are not counted. So that only will go with you, the fruits. Like this we have discussed it there. That's why he says, Grihitam, whatever you have seen in the dream, that you cannot bring out. Grihitam. In the relative plane, if something is taken, etc., in the relative plane, if something is taken, food, etc., even then, you see, in the relative plane, the man of knowledge, he says, Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manye tatattvavit. I am not doing anything. How he says? He has disconnected the mind and the connection or the superimposition on the Atman. He is having so much of discrimination that he knows that I am the self, I am the Atman. No doership, no enjoyership is there in the Atman. So, naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manye tattvavet navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvanna karyan. Though he is staying in the body, he says, I am not doing. That means he has completely identified himself with that consciousness. And simply refuted or given up the body consciousness, the mind, and other things. Then only he can say, Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manyeta tattvavit. Tattvavit, one who is experiencing that particular bliss of the Atman, staying in the body. He says, I am not doing anything. So, this Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manyeta tattvavit. For that, we have already had the example of Durvasa. All the gopis went and fed him so much with all the best fresh cream, all the curds, milk, so many things, ate everything. And he says, if I have not eaten anything, then Yamuna will be giving you the path to go that side. And Yamuna simply gave the path. That means, there he is not identifying himself as the enjoyer. That's why Sri Krishna also says, what is that in the 18th chapter? Na kartutvam na bhoktutvam. Those who says, Naiva kurvan na karyan yukto manyeta tattvavit. That the knower of Brahman, he says, Yasya naham kruto bhava buddhir yasya na lipyate hattvab saiman lokan. Hattvab saiman lokan. He will not be getting any sin, he says. Because he never says, I am the doer or I am the enjoyer. Yasya naham kruto bhava buddhir yasya na lipyate hattvab saiman lokan. What is that afterwards? Nahanti na nibadhyate. He is not killing. Hattvab saiman lokan. Even after killing everybody, he says, he is not doing anything because he says, I am not having the ego of doership and enjoyership. Yasya naham kuto bhava buddha. That's why in Brahma Sutra, in one place it comes that Indra, he says, I have killed many aspirants and just I have put their body to the wolf. Wolves. I have put 10,000. Sannyasis, but extrovert people. I have not got any sin. Because I am realized, and I am, even after killing so many, that example it comes in the Naiva kinchit karomi dikto. Never feels any relationship. It is only appearance. He says, It is only an appearance. That's why he says, having discussed with friends and the rest, one does not resort to that discussion itself when awake. Whatever is acquired, gold, etc., in the dream, one does not obtain after waking. Hence also, one does not go to a different place in dream. In the same way, even when you are waking, your though mind is going here and there, you are not going anywhere. But there is a saying, what? Where your mind is, there you are. Because mind has gone there. That is why only the thing in, say, spiritual practices control the mind. Now again he is telling, this dream state is unreal. As we see another body on the bed, he says, the dream body is different. And he leaves this body who is sleeping and going on moving here and there. He flies in the sky and he goes here, there. And at times he takes somebody from somewhere, flying in the sky, he puts him somewhere else. So all these things are there. But he knows well that this is a dream body and my body is sleeping. He has come out of that particular body. So sees another body on the bed. In the waking, now that's why the dream is unreal, he says. In the same way, now somehow he brought a monk who Gaudapadacharya while writing. He says, in the waking, worship of a body of a monk, if you do, and the sub-commentator says, and if you hate him, that is also unreal, he says. See, worshipping a holy person and scolding a holy person, it is also unreal. Dislike, hate or desire also is unreal because of the changeless Kutastha Brahman. The monk, if he is realized, he says, I am the changeless Brahman, you do whatever you like. That's why that day you gave the example, illustration. The best praise he brought, he says. The old shoes, when he is packed nicely and brought, he says, this is best praise. And goes to the room and gives the beating. So, he says, the worship or scolding and blaming, that is also unreal. Because he has separated himself from the body, the monk, which is, and he is experiencing that Kutastha Brahman. That is why. Swapane cha avastukaha kayaha prudaganyasya darsanat yatha kayas tatha sarvam chit tadrishyam avastukam. In a dream, the body becomes unreal. Since another body is seen in the bed, as is the body, so is everything cognized by the consciousness all real. Now, unreal, all unreal. In the dream, whatever he is seeing, he sees as unreal. So in the waking also, as is the body of the dream, So is everything cognized by the consciousness, all unreal. Here, you see, in the waking state, at least in dream, when the lights are off, when we have closed our eyes, we see some light. So we can very easily understand that self-luminous Atman is there. That is not there in the waking state. This only we have to develop. See consciousness everywhere, and you have to see yourself in everything and everything within you. Everything within you, you are in everything, and in all the times you have to see only one thing. Sarvatra Sarvada. That all of a sudden we don't get, but if we practice, slowly we do well get that state. And while working, also we should remember, we need not give the whole mind, 100% mind to the work. What you have to do? Even while working, you should remember the deity or the Atman or the oneness, you should meditate. That little practice. That's why what Swami Shivanji says, when you get up from the sleep, even for going to urinals, try to remember sometime the God. See? That means whenever you are in work, even in the waking state, you have to remind yourself. You have to remember your own self. As the dream body is unreal, so too whatever is seen by the consciousness is unreal. It is inert. How to see that it is unreal? Mind is inert, senses are inert, body is inert, and what it is seeing outside, that is still more inert. So, see the inertness, he says. Yatha swapne cha atan drishyate yaha kaya so avastukaha. While moving in the dream, the body which he sees is not real. Tato anyasya swapadesha tasya pruthak kayantarasya darshanat. Where he is sleeping, that he sees the dream body as different. And yatha swapna drishyaha kayo asan tatha sarvam chitta drishyam avastukam jagaritepi chitta drishatvad ityartha. Swapna samatvad asad jagritam api iti prakaranartha. Acha. Chitta drishyam. Acha, chitta drishyam nahi. Vivajan. Chitta drishyam. The body that is seen in dream to be walking about is unreal. He is walking for another body distinct from the one that is walking about in dream. Is seen in the bed. A different body is seen in the bed. Another body is seen, it is moving. This you can very easily understand. You have seen a dream. Immediately if you wake up, oh, this is the dream. I was seeing this, I was seeing, he can very easily understand that it is dream, that it is unreal. Just as the body seen in dream is unreal, so too everything that is cognized by the consciousness is unreal, even in the waking state. So, the consciousness which is there in the dream, in its presence you have seen the unreal dream. So also here he says, in the waking state. Since they are all perceived by the consciousness only, it may be dream, it may be waking state, or it may be sleeping experience, everything is perceived by, but here one problem is there. He says, perceived by the consciousness. Consciousness is detached. How you say perceived? Where from you got this witness? See, I have experienced the sleeping state. I slept well. I don't know anything. Statement is very good. But I am the witness of the dream. Where from you brought this witness? One side you say neti neti, nothing is there, and you are bringing a quality witness. There is seer, the scene, the witness, all these things are also superimposed on the Atman. After superimposing these things alone, you can tell. Otherwise, you cannot tell. That is why, in the beginning, I told what? Whenever you talk of Atman, or Brahman, or Paramatman, that is only the indicating meaning, not in real meaning. Because you cannot talk of it, you cannot think of it when you are there. So, it is lakshita artha. Whenever we say, in the same way, consciousness perceived, it is the indicated meaning. How you have superimposed the witness on that? I am seeing. But that witness also is not real. What is there, that is there, must. Nothing. The idea implied in this section is even the waking state being equal to the state of dream is unreal. So, the waking state is unreal, it says. Itaschartas asatvam jagrat vastunaha. Because of the reason that we are going to tell, because of that, the waking state is unreal, it says. Itascha. This one will do. Give some water. Little. Another reason he is giving for the unreality of the waking state. As we see in the waking, so we see in the dream. The dream is the effect of the waking state. What he says? The dream is the effect of the waking state. Because we gather so many impressions in the mind, and the deep impressions that we see as deep, in this birth or of the previous birth. For the observer of dream, for the observer of the dream, he is the seer of the dream. He says, because he is the observer, for him waking also is unreal. He is the observer, he is the seer. What is seen is unreal. There it is dream, it is waking state. That he is telling.
He said that the impressions that are created in the mind during the waking state are the material cause of the dream.
Ah.
So we do know that Adi Shankaracharya actually explains it this way in Brahma Sutras and other places. He says so. But is this also the view of Gaudapada?
Yes.
Yes.
He says, now he is going to tell. The sub-commentator is explaining the commentary. The commentary is explaining the karika. So, all the views are same. In the waking state, so many general things we see. So, as many things as we see in the waking state, all the general things, so many should be there in the dream. See, opponent has come. Because you told, dream is the effect of the waking. So whatever he sees, whatever he sees in the waking, that he should see in the dream. All the generalization. Then he says, only the deep impressions. Now, you are walking from here to seashore. So, you are your own thoughts and you are not going to remember everything that we see on the floor. Do you remember? You don't. But all of a sudden, after going half a distance, you have met your friend, you have seen him long back, some 10 years back. All of a sudden now you see. Just he was in also hurry, you are also in a hurry. You want to go that side quickly and that fellow want to go to this side quickly. You just met him for few seconds. But even after going to the seashore, even after going to the room, again and again you remember. Why? Because the impression is there already in the mind, and that few seconds of meeting, it has so deep impression, you will again and again you remember. In the same way. So, to whatever things that you are attached, whatever things you deeply cogitate, think, those things you will see in the dream. That means the dream speaks about your mind. Where are you? How are you? What are you? Everything you can know by your dreams. Because whatever is stored, that only will be coming out. And what you have stored deeply, that only will coming out. So, the face is the index of the mind, you say. The dream is the index of your mind. Hmm? You can understand how far I have progressed in my spirituality. Am I seeing the same lesson in the dream or not? Hmm? Am I reflecting on this or not? No, miss, no deep impression. Huh?
It truly happens.
It happens.
You see,
This
it
you
truly
just...
happens that whatever you see in the waking state, that you are doing the same, it truly happens. Because when I was in Kailas Ashram, I used to recite the original Upanishad mantras, 108 Upanishads. I used to
You have
chant them.
increased?
So sometimes they used to come, not very oftenly, but sometimes they used to come in the dream.
Only they appear like that for dreamer, but not to all. Huh? He says, the dream is the effect of waking. Dream is the effect of waking state. But only for the dreamer, not to all. That he says. For him only the waking is real when he comes out of dream. For him only the dream is unreal, and when he wakes up, he says the waking state is real. Why you are telling all these things? Coming to the point. For this additional reason too, objects are unreal in the waking state. Grahanat jagaritavat tad hetu swapnaishyate tad hetutvatu tasyaiva sajjagritam ishyate. Since the experience of the objects in dream is just like that in the waking state, the former is thought of as being the cause by the latter. Such being the case, the waking state is considered to be real for that dreamer alone. You told the waking state is the cause for the dream. Dream is the effect. It's all right, but not for all, for each and everybody. Somebody is seeing a dream and you are experiencing. But one incident happened, that because I am remembering, I am telling. There you see, in olden days, not many olden days in the sense, at least in my childhood, they used to tell that some particular God is there on that particular woman, particular God is there on that particular man. Like that they used to tell, and they used to go to them, nothing giving and taking. Simply whatever you ask, he will be telling. So, actually, my mother took me to one of the lawyers. He was away from my town, some 40 kilometers, something like that. So we have to change to 2 trains and go there. Somehow we went. And then my mother, that she took me afterwards. But she went in the beginning so many times to him. So afterwards she was telling me, when I went, what happened, that I told you. You remember? What I told? Actually, when I went, what happened? That particular lawyer, he was a lawyer, but only I think in Fridays And Tuesdays, he used to worship Lord Krishna in the evening times, not in the morning also. So just while worshipping, he used to go to trance. He go to trance. And from the worship room, they used to spread so many sarees and other things, and that used to come. And like this big veranda is there, big garden. So there many were waiting. And he used to come and sit in a particular chair, which is provided. And so he was sitting here, I was sitting somewhere there with my mother. And one lady came and he was telling, see, I told you not to go to doctors and waste money. I told something, you take lemon, you do like something he was telling. Then I was there with my mother. I was somewhere there and he is talking here. And then I told to my mother, or in myself I think, not in a loud voice also, what will happen to the doctors, those who have studied so much? You are telling you are God, all right. But you are telling not to go to doctors. What will happen to the doctors? If patients, they don't go. Immediately she stopped his talking. Simply as if in an angry tone. He told, Ray. That means for very small and low people, they use. Derogate. What you are talking? I know what to do. I am feeding the thief also. What to talk of doctors? Keep quiet, he said. So, that, see, I have not told him, but he knows what I have talked. That is about him only. He knows. This is the incident when I went. Mother took me to him. So, before that is, say, some 2.5 before this incident, for something, she went to that lawyer and asked that I am very much worried that I am in very much difficulties. So, how to overcome? Something she has asked. Then he says, you see, I showed you a dream. He says, I showed you a dream. Do you remember the dream? She says, no. Then he reminds the dream to her and says, this is the dream, you follow like this, all your difficulties will come. That means the inner self, what you call Atman, he knows everything of you. Even if a thought is there in you, he knows. That is why, regarding this incident, previously I told one illustration. That, who is the father of that Uma? Usha and Aniruddha. That is the devotee of Shiva, not Sahasrabahu. So, there was a demon, I forgot his name, and his daughter is Usha, married to the grandson of Krishna, Aniruddha or something, Usha Parinyam they say. So, and when Vishnu asked, you see, he is a demon, why don't you kill him? He asked Shiva, Hare, he is my devotee, He's always praying me. How can I? Then they thought, because he was a demon, somehow we have to. Then all the gods, they gathered together and they have decided something. Then they say to Parvati, see, you have to do something. Then she says, what? See, Usha is the daughter of the demon, and she was put in a fortress, Banasur. So, nobody can see her, because she is so beautiful. Nobody can see her. So then mother asked, what I have to do? You just show the picture or the form of Aniruddha to her, but that's all, in her dream. So mother, what is there? He has shown, and bas, this fellow became mad, Usha, then asked, his assistant was there, her assistant Chitralekha. So he asked, you see, I have seen a particular gentleman in my dream, now I am after him, so you show me. How can I show? Then she started painting all the young people, those who are not married, coming. She again comes to the Lord Krishna. Oh, some similarities are there. Then his son, then grand. Oh, he is the person. Because she is also demon daughter, demon. Then this Chitralekha goes to Dwaraka and brings Aniruddha, kidnaps him and brings and leaves with. Oh, what I mean to say is, the dream state is also controlled by the gods. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hridesya tishtati means sitting there is controlling your waking, your dream, your sleep, everything. Don't think that you are doing anything. You are doing everything. You are doing nothing. Then, what necessary is there to read so many things and this thing, that thing, when I am not doing anything? That you want to experience him. For that you have to do something. Remove the ignorance, you can see. So dream state also is controlled by gods. So afterwards, of course, I have confirmed that he is having some powers. Though he was a lawyer, afterwards I heard. Of course, I went to, I think, Mysore or somewhere I went in 1976. I met him. I went to Mysore also. Afterwards, I heard he took sannyasa. They know everything. That is what we call sarvajñatva. When Sri Krishna says, Ishvara is in your heart and he is controlling you, he is ruling you, it is 100% correct to the letter. Not only your waking state. That's why I say, unconsciously, we wanted to do something, we do something else. Or why? Suppose if some friend has come, you wanted to talk, you know that he is coming. You wanted to give him something, you wanted to talk something. But when you see him, you forget everything. You forget even giving that thing to him. In just 1 or 2 minutes, afterwards you will remember. Why? Control.
There is always the discussion about free will. Is there free will? Is there not free will? And then there is only an appearance.
Hmm.
And there is only one will that governs everything. So people are asking, do I have free will? Don't I have free will? What would Swamiji say?
This Sri Ramakrishna puts in very simple teaching. Says a cow is tied to a pole with a rope. So she is having a round. Hmm? There, wherever it wants, there it can sit. It may be marshy soil, or maybe water, or say dry land. So that is the free will of individual. And the other will is governed by, if you say, oh, no free will for me, I don't want to do anything, everything is previously destined, why should I pray to God? All right, that is left to you. If you want, if you completely put everything on the God, then all these shastras becomes just a waste. Why? All the shastras are telling you have to do something, you have to do something, you have to control your mind, you have to do all the what for these things they are telling? Thinking that you are having some discrimination, thinking that you are having some free will. Now, if sweet is given, to eat or not to eat, but what generally people do, they throw it away and lick the hand. I told you. So, everything is before you and discrimination is with you. So you have to decide what to do and what not to do. Niyatam kuru karmatvam. What is not opposite to the Shastras, what the Shastras say, that you should follow. So, and from my side, I gave an example also, illustration. You are having the body. Because of the past, you got this body. That does not mean you should do whatever you like. For this, what illustration I gave? Car. See? You have purchased a car. It is your own money. You are driving, but you cannot drive as you like. Where is your free will? Following the instructions. Tasma shastram pramanante karya karya vyavastito. So, our free will is to that extent, because of the discrimination, whatever good we feel we have to do, whatever bad we should not do. This much. And the rest, the result, karmanyeva adhikaraste mahaphaleshu kadachana. You do your work and leave, even hankering for the fruits. He says it is not good. So give up. Do your duty. Duty for duty's sake. Do the duty and be happy. Achha. I wanted to finish these slokas quickly, 100 slokas, but
There is no free will, Swami.
only see 1, 2, 3. 2 slokas were explained and one sloka half. Today, at least I wanted to finish 5, 6 slokas.